Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review Disney's Strange World, the new animated film that has been recently released. It is directed by Don Hall and Quaid. Nyugen. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And the basic plot of Strange World is as follows. The legendary Quaids are a family of explorers whose differences threaten to topple their latest and most crucial mission. This town, known as Pando, wonder where they got that name from, has been colonized with this one plant that was found in the mountain. For years they've been living with it absolutely fine, and then something is wrong with this mineral. Searcher Quaid has to go and find out what exactly is wrong with it and find a way to save his hometown, whilst also trying to deal with the relationship he has with his son, Ethan, as well as dealing with the issues with his father, Jaeger, who is a famous explorer. So that's essentially what you've got going on in Strange World, and obviously they enter this world which is strange, quite literally, with loads of trippy visuals and all different kinds of things, and it's meant to be a rollicking adventure. So, Strange World. Honestly, I didn't know anything about this film. Not a lot. I'd seen one trailer that came up a few months ago. This movie was not marketed well at all. To be perfectly honest, this movie is not very good. I mean, it's mediocre at best. That's all I can say. It's a very mediocre bore of a film, really. Yeah, I wasn't really that impressed with this movie. I think the issue I have was the script. The story was underwritten, the characters were dull, and the whole adventure didn't really go anywhere. There wasn't a huge amount of takeaway from this film. By that I mean there was not really a central message to take away from the film. There's a certain amount of inclusivity with the film. There's an interracial marriage, and there's also a gay character in there, a couple of gay characters. So whether the movie was trying to home in on that and say that was the message, I don't know. There's also a commentary about the environment, although I don't know if it's more of a commentary on it. It's more just something that they have to do for the plot. They have to protect the environment. So these things don't really coincide. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know what to make of it. I think the film looks very pretty. I think in terms of the visuals, it's pretty much Avatar for kids, and there's severe Avatar vibes, as obviously the name Pando would suggest. You know, Pando, Pandora, you get the idea. And the fact that they have to go and try to solve out what's wrong with this mineral, it's kind of a spin on the whole plot of Avatar, which you know, gave me massive Avatar vibes watching the film. I wouldn't say the film is terrible. It certainly has some good sequences. There's some entertaining thrills during the time when they are inside this world. And I did certainly enjoy the character dynamics between Jaeger, Ethan, and Searcher. So there's a lot of like father-son dynamics going on, which is nice. You know, there's a nice sort of family domestic thread running through this film. And ultimately, the actual narrative just doesn't go anywhere. It's a real plod. It's a real boring film to watch. When we discover the twist behind the story, like what exactly this world is, you're kind of like, huh? What? Not that it's offensively bad, it's just underwhelming. You just think, oh, so that was it the whole time? Yeah, the movie thinks it's cleverer than it is in that regard, but it really isn't. I mean, the visuals and the creatures all look pretty cool. There's this little blue blob thing called Splat, which is kind of fun, and he becomes a character in himself. There's also a three-legged dog for some reason. I mean, not quite sure why there's a three-legged dog, but yeah, none of the visuals really make any sense in this movie until the end of the film, where you go, okay, that was kind of weird, but it sort of worked. When you just go, okay, that was kind of weird and doesn't really make sense, but it's nice to look at, I suppose. And the thing is, as well, they never actually explain what's wrong with the mineral. Why does it suddenly turn, you know, problematic for them? Why do they now have to fix everything? You know, what caused the mineral to stop working for everybody? You know, to stop working for this town who colonized on it. You know, I don't understand why that was happening. And also the characters are just really dull. I couldn't emotionally invest in any of them. You know, I mean, Jaeger is quite cool. He's quite a fun, dashing explorer and whatnot. Searcher doesn't really interest me that much. He's just a farmer. I guess he is the central protagonist of the story. And he has to learn to sort of accept his family's legacy and work out where his family's legacy lies. And then we have his son Ethan, who is the gay character in this story. The fact that Ethan is gay is not a problem. That's absolutely fine. I'm surprised at the reactions, honestly. Like, we live in a society where, it's perfectly acceptable to have these kind of relationships. It's fine. Everyone's different. But I'm not sure if the movie was marketed very well, because I don't know which audience it's trying to target. Because maybe some parents just feel that Disney are trying to do something a bit too mature for young audiences. People like under the age of, 9 may not have a perception on sexuality at that point. So I don't know if it was entirely necessary to have a gay character in the story, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect the narrative at all in any way. Ethan's boyfriend doesn't even do anything in the story, so it makes no difference whatsoever. Of course, the animation is beautiful. The colors are fantastic. It looks a treat. But man, they should have just stuck this thing on Disney Plus, because it is really dull. Surprisingly, it is really dull, and the whole environmental plot is it's kind of a neat concept, but it's not well executed. It could have been done differently. It could have been more fleshed out. The script really needed a rewrite. I think the script needed to be clearer. Certain characters' motivations, like what do they want? What are they trying to do? Why do they have to go and save their town from this defect plant, which used to work fine, but now doesn't work? It's just so bland. There's not much else I can say about it. It's so bland. The cast do a good job. They're fine. But, it's just weightless. It's just a really weightless film, to be perfectly honest. Even the music score is kind of dull. It doesn't do much to excite you or engage you. And, again, the big twist is going to leave you feeling like, what? Okay, very weird, but I suppose it is called Strange World after all. And the fact is, this movie is bombing at the box office. It really is. And honestly, I really feel like they should have released this movie at a different time if they wanted it to do well. One thing, they could have worked on the script and it would have been better. Because the fact is, Avatar's coming out, and also Matilda has just come out. So families are going to go and see that in the cinema rather than seeing this, because there were barely any trailers for this. I mean, the film begins with the promise of something fun and pleasant. And to some people, this might be fun. It might be pleasant. And there are elements which are fun. I won't deny. There are cool sequences here, but it's all meaningless because the story just is boring and doesn't hang together very well. It's not terrible. It's not shit. It's not great. It's nothing. It's fine. It just lays on the screen. It's acceptable, but disposable. So, on that particular note, I am going to give Strange World a mediocre score of 5 out of 10. That's all I'm prepared to give it. But if you like the movie more, then that's absolutely fine. I respect your opinion. But anyway, what did you think of Strange World? Please comment down below, let me know. Stay tuned for more reviews to come in the future. I'm going to be reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water very, very soon. So until then, I am Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.